This is the 2006 BMW X5 SUV Sport Exclusive. Why exactly are we showing you a 10-year-old car on LeaseLowdown? Well, as the name of this video suggests, it's not a car review or analysis of the X5 in any great detail. Instead, this week's video aims to give you the lowdown on the upcoming road tax changes. The current road tax rules and rates have been in force since March 2001. Everyone is liable for road tax as soon as they take ownership of a vehicle, and the amount of annual road tax you pay varies based on your car's emissions. On the 1st of April 2017 though, the current tax rules will change, and so will the prices that you pay. We're going to summarise what road tax is, and how the new system will affect you after April the 1st, with a little help from this X5 to demonstrate the price difference in road tax before and after that date. Stay tuned to find out whether the new road tax system is a blessing or a curse. First things first, we should clarify that the following changes only apply to cars registered on or after the 1st of April 2017. Any cars registered before that will follow the current tax rules indefinitely. In other words, you have a week to buy a new car if the current tax system is more beneficial, which is highly likely to be the case. The biggest changes and things to note are as follows. Firstly, cars that were previously exempt, like those using hybrid and bioethanol fuels, are no longer exempt and owners must pay £130 a year. The current tax rules allow cars emitting 100 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide or lower to be exempt from road tax, whereas under the new rules, even if there's just 1 gram of carbon dioxide per kilometre being emitted, you're liable to pay £130 every year, period. The standard annual rate after the 1st of April is £140, so you do get a £10 discount for driving hybrid and bioethanol fueled cars, for which the rate is the aforementioned £130. Only regular petrol and diesel cars will be paying the standard £140 annual rate. Secondly, don't get yourself too happy about the lower standard rates, because if you're buying a car worth over £40,000, then you'll be paying an eye-watering £310 per year on top of your standard rate for the first 5 years of ownership of the car, provided of course you keep the car for that long. If you sell it on after 3 years, for example, the buyer will pay for the remaining 2 years. On the plus side, manufacturers selling cars for just over 40 grand may wish to drop their prices slightly to make it a more attractive prospect to consumers tax-wise. Next, if you buy a car that emits more than 255 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide, then you'll be paying a whopping first year fee of £2,000. That's a ridiculous £880 increase on the current highest first year tax payment. To put it another way, you best get saving. Finally, it's worth noting that buying cars outright is becoming a thing of the past, with things like car leasing and financing taking over and enabling people to drive around in brand new cars who otherwise may not be able to afford to do so. The good news is that for many car leasing contracts, road tax is covered by the supplier, whether it be just for 1 year or the entire duration of the contract, meaning that if you lease, you stand a chance at paying nothing towards your brand new car's road tax. Whether or not the number of suppliers contributing to the road tax payments will decrease drastically after April 1st, 2017 is a different matter. In any case, it's always best to check the precise terms of any leasing contract to be sure where you stand with road tax. Such contracts are often negotiable, so our advice would be to speak with the supplier of the vehicle with a view to getting the best possible deal. I'm not sure whether you noticed, but I've actually been practicing my artistic skills a lot since our Hybrid Cars Explained video went up a few weeks ago. Click the link in the description to take a look at that to see just how much I've improved. Moving on. First things first, what even is road tax? Well, driving is of course a luxury, and like most luxuries nowadays, you have to pay money to the government to be able to enjoy them. road tax, or vehicle excise duty to use its more official name, is payable by all motorists directly to the DVLA. Now, the DVLA say that an approximate £5.6 billion worth of road tax is paid into the General Treasury Fund on an annual basis. Back in the day, the name road tax was coined because the money collected from motorists would be used to repair and maintain the quality of our roads. Where does the money go nowadays? Your guess is as good as mine, but that's another topic entirely. The fact that it's referred to as road tax leads to the common misconception that anyone using the roads, like cyclists for example, have to pay it, which isn't the case. In 1937, vehicle excise duty was established to tax cars specifically, and not any and everyone that uses the road. Confusing, right? It's probably best to think of it as car tax as opposed to road tax. In fact, I'll just start saying car tax from now on to make it a bit simpler. So now that you have a bit of background about car tax, let's talk about how the upcoming changes will affect you and me. Here's where this old X5 comes in handy. We're going to see how much money you pay for it now compared with how much you'd pay after the tax changes. Now, first of all, there is a first year tax rate for brand new cars, which is different and often more expensive than the annual average tax rate for that car thereafter. So for a 3-litre diesel X5 like this, that emits between 201 and 225 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometre, between March 2001 and March 2017, the first year would cost you £650. After that, you'd be paying £295 car tax per year. So 650, 295, not ideal, but manageable, right? Now, it may be best to take a seat because the figures that I'm about to tell you may just make you collapse. So if you bought a BMW X5 on or after the 1st of April 2017 that emitted the same amount of carbon dioxide in grams per kilometre as this generation X5, then you'd pay £1,200 for the first year, £450 thereafter for the next 4 years, and once the car was 5 years old, the annual price of car tax would go down to £140. To put that into perspective, using a 5-year timeline, if you were to buy this car pre-April 2017, it would cost you in total £1,830. If you were to buy this car post-April 2017, it would cost you £3,310. No further comments are really needed. No matter what you think of the government though, you do have to hand it to them. They know how to squeeze out every last drop. For a breakdown and comparison of the old and new car tax bands, take a look at our article on the upcoming changes, which you can see by clicking the link that's in the description to this video. While you're there, why not check out some of our other automotive content, and feel free to check us out on social media. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more LeaseLowdown videos to come. See you next time.